Ericsson was one of the fastest in that session, but there was some debate on the radio. Did you guys consider coming to take a second set there, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough in these sessions to know if you're going to stay out or take a new set. Yeah, I really wish we had pitted and put a new set, because the last two laps my tires were just toast, but it was too late to pit then, obviously. So it's tough because we definitely had speed in the 28 Delaware car, and I felt really good out there. So super disappointed.
Coming off their best finish of the season at Detroit. They finished second, Kevin, but he'll start in the back of the field tomorrow.
Christian Lundgaard has been on the headset to try to provide some intel to help Graham Rahal. So we just heard from Marcus Ericsson, who wished they would have gone to a second set. You went to a second set. Did you feel like that hurt or helped you?
Yeah, I mean, it helped us, but the radar is so poor around here that you can't hear anything on the back of the track. And I didn't really know that it was my last lap until I was halfway down the main straight going into one. So it was kind of just all at it on that last lap, and made a bunch of mistakes because you don't really know where the grip is. So car wasn't anything like this morning, but again, we're going 10 seconds faster. So it is what it is.
By the way, it is starting to sprinkle a little bit harder. It's not going to be dry here for Group 2, Georgia.
Kevin, Nolan Siegel and I were just talking about that, and despite not going on, this was the first time that you've driven an IndyCar in the rain just a couple hours ago. So overall, what were your takeaways from that session?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to learn. In practice, we didn't actually end up getting a timed lap with all the red flags, and so this was the first time I've gone through turn one in the wet. So it's tough. But no, I think it was all right. I think a lot of people pitted for a second set, and we stayed out just because of the way the session was going for us. I had to make a gap on the lap that we should have, pushed through and then pitted. So a little bit unlucky there, but overall, I mean, I think we're in a good spot, and I'm learning a lot. Everyone's getting along here, and yeah, just so much to learn from the people to the car to the conditions, and I think the race is going to be dry. So put this behind us, and ultimately, it's not that bad a starting spot. We are ahead of a couple people at least, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Nolan Siegel learning every step of the way, and he mentioned conditions. The rain is definitely starting to pick up down here. We're talking about the conditions here right now because it has definitely picked up the rain. Session ended just a little bit early. What are the conditions like out there?
Oh my God, well, much better than the morning practice, to be honest. Unfortunately, I should do it what just Rosa did, kept going, but I was afraid I'm going to be stuck at the sand area. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because it feels like it's getting a little bit less water, not dry, but at the same time, the tires start getting a little bit difficult to manage. I just couldn't get the temperature. It was so difficult, and yeah, but it's the same for everyone, right? So unfortunately, a mistake cost us to be at least a little bit further ahead. But it's a shame for Felix because he was having a great run out there. But well, let's see. This place is anything can happen, but hopefully, please, dry is a little bit better.
Yeah, I'd say so. And switching gears a little bit, this is your last time in the seat before David Malukas takes over. We haven't been able to catch up with you much about it. How exciting is this opportunity for the team?
Super excited. Dave obviously was supposed to be at McLaren, and unfortunately, with the injury that he has in his hand, ended up cutting his possibility to be there shy and short. And for us, again, we didn't know what was going to happen, and it was a great decision that we are able to have the time to negotiate, to talk, and now David is with us. Looking forward to, of course, because it's a bright future, and yes, it's going to be fun. So I told him this morning, I said, why don't you jump in, because now it's my time to be there. But if everything goes right, his hand is ready to go. He's going to be testing in Milwaukee, and then Laguna, he'll be that's 66.
Thanks, Elio. Kevin.
Romain Grosjean just misses advancing. Everyone's debating whether to use one set or two sets. What do you think? Hindsight is always 20/20.
Yeah, I mean, I think we messed it up. We had low pressure, and the grip was coming, and then I catch Stingray Rob, and it was not very fast, so I back off, and then I want to go for one more lap, and the boys are like, come in, and then we have the red flag, and I knew one lap we just didn't have it. So the car was really good. We just took time to generate the grip, and therefore we didn't have the time. So I really think that red flag hurt us a lot. So, it's not a bad place to start. The more 14 is a place we can overtake. of course, we want a back foot on the dry, so no, a smooth warm-up would be great, but I'm a bit disappointed because I think we had a better car than where we are.
That's what I was going to ask about trying to catch back up after missing the first practice session. Does this become one of the more important warm-ups tomorrow?
Absolutely. I mean, it's always important for tire wear and tire degradation and so on, but tomorrow for us, it's also balance work. So trust the boys, they've done a normally good job on getting set up right. So yeah, if that works, we'll be good. I'm just a bit sad today because I really think we had a shot at doing a lot better.
That'll be interesting. Maybe Romain Grosjean is moving forward tomorrow, Marty.
Let's chat with Théo Pourchaire, who winds up 18th. And boy, it looked like you were going to be in the green there on that final lap. What happened?
I just, I think, missed a little bit of tire temp. I think we pitted one lap too late, but the radio was not good, was not working, so I couldn't hear anybody, and it's disappointing because, you know, I feel like I had the pace today just to probably do my first fast six, sorry, so I'm just, yeah, I'm so sad, you know, it's like, I have the pace, I know I can do it, but I don't know, it's like this.
It's just like we were talking last week. It's just a matter of putting it all together, right? But the conditions today, how difficult were they? It was raining at times and not raining at other times.
Yeah, it's very tough, difficult conditions, but, you know, I think we had a great car in those conditions, and yeah, I think it's really, really difficult, you know, to be starting so far on this track. So hopefully we have the race tomorrow to, you know, move forward. But, you know, it's like this. I'm still learning. I think I drove pretty well. We just need to communicate better, and we will do a better job in the next few races.
He starts 18th tomorrow, Georgia.
Felix Rosenqvist having a similar moment as his teammate Elio Castroneves. Is that just a matter of finding the balance between too much and too little with conditions like this?
Yeah, I don't know. We had one shot at the end there. You know, you kind of have to go for it. I don't know if I braked a bit too much on the crown of the road, and it kind of hooked the car a bit, and then I started locking. I just couldn't stop locking. So, yeah, unfortunate. It sucks to have to start, I think, P22 now. So, yeah, I mean, my mistake, but it's a costly one for sure. I think we had the speed to be up there, but it's tricky conditions, so you kind of have to, you know, we didn't do much practice earlier, so kind of had to do a little bit of practice here and then go for it at the end. But, yeah, bum for the guys, but we'll bounce back in the race. Yeah,
going forward to tomorrow, starting that far back, where does your confidence lie?
I don't know. It depends. You know, we've had some crazy races here. We had some less crazy. I think last year was a pretty eventful race, which we would like. Starting from there, kind of want something like Detroit, where you can just kind of shuffle back up in the front. Maybe like a fuel race or something like that. So we'll see. I think the car is quick, so nothing lost yet, but just going to be hard work tomorrow. Yeah,
and truly, we saw Detroit. Really, anything can happen. That's Felix Rosenqvist. Kevin.
Graham Rahal, we listened to your radio before the stop and after the stop. You're trying a lot of things. Did you ever get any kind of a balance or anything that felt comfortable?
No, I mean, not at all. Unfortunately, I just, you know, I don't know. You know, it feels like this morning in the rain we were quite good. But as the track was kind of drying there or getting more of a dry line, certainly couldn't maximize braking. And I felt like I was just so loose on corner entries. I went off on my best lap. I went on, which is obviously slow, but I went off in 5. I went off in 8. Just no bite, no lateral bite. You know, the carousel, I was sideways through the whole thing. So just not competitive, unfortunately. We got to look at Christian's car, and, you know, the roll stiffness is quite a bit different, but not in a way that you would think would be beneficial for the rain. So, you know, we need to take a peek and try to find a way. I would expect, you know, with a track like this, power down would have gotten a lot better, but from the previous session, it got considerably worse for me.
Good thing is, though, we don't think that's what the race is going to be tomorrow. So what can you do in the dry?
Well, to be honest with you, tomorrow's strat is going to be pretty interesting because the red tire, I had a red tire delaminate after one lap yesterday, one hard lap, and I know some other teams had the same. So with that being said, this race could turn into a mess, honestly. And so I even joked with these guys earlier in the week that starting on the back and starting on reds, just getting off of them on the very first lap could be a good play. So, you know, being where we're at, let's hope there's a yellow on the first lap and then it doesn't include us. And honestly, it could play right into our hands, so we'll see.
We saw a mess last weekend, maybe 2 weeks in a row. Georgia.
Not that mess.
Not that kind
Jack
of mess.
Harvey.
Okay.
Jack Harvey had just described the track as interesting. Let's elaborate more on that pinpoint word.
Well, it's obviously so rare that we really get to do qualifying in the rain. We tried to go out earlier, and every time we tried to run, we just seemed to be right at that perfect time of a red flag, and I think that cost us a little bit heading into quali. Obviously, there was another red in session, not sure why, but the guys made a really good change. Just with, honestly, something super basic, and it completely transformed the car, and where we ended, I think, was in a okay spot. It didn't feel like the best lap I've ever driven, so I was also confident we could have been, you know, a decent amount further up the grid, but you know, that's how it goes on days like this. Looks like tomorrow seems pretty clear. We put ourselves, I think, in a decent position now to have a great race, and I think every weekend, even if we haven't necessarily made progress in speed, we're definitely making progress with how we all work together and interact together, and the goal really is just to keep scoring as many good points as we can and keep progressing in some form or another every weekend. So I've got to say thanks obviously to Dale Coyne Racing, all my friends at Invest, and let's just keep this party going.
And progress and practice obviously make perfect. That's Jack Harvey. Marty.
Fast 12 on the track. Georgia, the clock.
Just a year ago. He's going to start 12th tomorrow, and your best qualifying effort with the NTT INDYCAR Series at that. So what does this qualifying effort represent for you?
Just a lot of hard work, I think. This whole year we've struggled with qualifying, and it's not been our strong suit at all, but something that we've focused on a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I feel like I'm getting the hang of it more, and I think with the difficult conditions today, it made it kind of tough for everyone, and that helped us for sure. Chip Ganassi Racing had great cars for the wet all today, so we all felt pretty good going into this qualifying, knowing it was going to be wet, and I think that showed with our pace today, and I think that we'll be strong tomorrow as well in the dry, if it's dry.
You said you love this place, so is this result also a combination of team, but also your love for Road America?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I got to drive here last year after it got repaved, I just loved it, and I loved it before that as well, but man, it's just the nicest track in America, probably. My favorite by far.
That's a common thought along this field. Marty, who do you have?
Let's chat with Alex Palou, who's won 2 of the last 3 races here. Certainly knows his way around this track. Boy, it looked like you had it there, then you didn't have it, then you had it again. Was there just not enough tire there on those last few laps to make it work?
It was just tough. I mean, it was really close. Yeah, we had a couple of moments and lost it. Just didn't really have the grip that I had on the first set, which was used, so a little bit odd. But yeah, it's tight here, so if you don't nail your lap, you're out. So yeah, a bit sad, but we'll work from it tomorrow.
How tough were the conditions, Alex? Because it rained and it stopped raining, and it was sort of, you were constantly chasing it.
Yeah, I mean, the track kept evolving quite a lot, but it was the same for everybody. At the end, it was a lot drier. There was like a dry line, especially the last sector. So yeah, just a shame we didn't get through.
See what Alex Palou can do tomorrow, and if he can win a 3rd time here at Road America, Kevin.
Pato Award is going to be starting from 11th tomorrow. Anything else you could have done?
I messed up on my single flyer before the tires overheated on the second set, but we didn't have enough to transfer. I think we would have been close to transferring, maybe around where Palou is, maybe Newgarden, but nah. As it started kind of drying out, we kind of just got stuck, and that's pretty much as much as we had. So yeah, yeah, it'll be fine.
So for those that are advancing in the Firestone Fast 6, what kind of dilemma and challenge do they have right now? It seems like it's still too wet for slicks, but you lost the wet weather tires after about a lap.
Yeah, you've got the out lap and you've got one flyer. Then after that, they just completely overheat and 2.5 seconds off. So it's just greasy. It's really greasy, but it's not dry enough to put dries on. Maybe towards the end of the Fast 6, someone might kind of take a risk, but it's just going to be really tough to get the tires up to temperature when they're super, super cold. Once they're up to temp, maybe they can get them to work. But yeah, if you get offline, you're flying out.
Thanks, Pato. Marty.
He told me last week, after what happened in Indianapolis, I'm still trying to build my confidence. This will go a long way towards that. You don't see celebrations for a pole like that pretty often, but first time he ever makes the Fast 12, first time he's made the Fast 6, and he caps it off with the first ever pole.
Oh my gosh. Way to go, little homie.
Nearly in tears. This one certainly Means a lot. So I got to ask you, Linus, when you woke up, and Scott Dixon, Chip Ganassi coming in, Marcus Armstrong coming in as well. And there are tears now. I know this one means a lot to you, but when you woke up this morning, you saw the rain. Were you thinking, I might have a shot to pull this off today?
I mean, I think every driver kind of wakes up thinking that when they see the rain, but man, what can I say? Want to say thank you to the team, to the A crew for sticking with me. Obviously, it's been a couple of races, so to be able to bounce back like this is nice.
Yeah, you told me last week, I'm still working on my confidence. I'm working on putting the whole game together. What does this do for your confidence?
I mean, there's no better way of rebuilding confidence with this. You know, my first ever pole in IndyCar. In these conditions as well, I mean, it was tricky, very tricky out there in the wet to start off with and going to dry tires. I think we were the only ones starting on wets as well, so, you know, kind of had to make a late switch there, but we made it work in the end, and man, I'm just super, super happy.
All right, Linus Lundqvist will lead him to the green flag tomorrow, and guess what? For the first time in your career, you get the NTT P1 award.
Do I get to keep this?
Sure, you can. Sure, you can. Georgia?
And Colton Herta will start next to Linus Lundqvist. How much did conditions change while you were out there?
I don't think I will start next to Linus. I think IndyCar took my time away for a red flag, which I'm not sure why. At least that's what we're getting. So with that, I think we'll start fourth, and it shows Kyle as third and Marcus as second. So, I mean, overall, good day to kind of make the Fast Six, but it is disappointing. I thought we had a lot of pace going into qualifying. Even with that, it wasn't good enough for pole, unfortunately. But, you know, wherever we start, if it's second, if it's fourth, I'm just happy to make it to that Fast Six.
Colton Herta. Guys, do you know more about Colton's time?
We are hearing second.
Second.
We are hearing from race control that he is in fact second. So you can let him know. Yeah.
It's right there.
All right, Colton, I want to hey,
telling me second.
They're telling me you are second.
I don't know.
Ask him what he's guilty
from the booth. They're confirming it.
We should be.
Yeah, we're looking at
when
second.
I crossed the line,
They think they should be. Seems like they are.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that we made it past the all-star finish line before the red flag. But
yeah, from race control, just confirm you will start second.
All right, sick. All right, second. Nice. Cambridge Honda, go us.
There you go.
Thanks, Colton.
Yes. Yeah, and Colton confirmed it there. Go us, go second, but
never know he grew up as a teenager in Southern California.
How about that? There is the fresh faces of the NTT INDYCAR Series. Lundqvist, Herta, Armstrong, Kirkwood. How about that? And that crash. Such a relief to see Joseph get out of the PPG Chevy.
And they're ahead of that established guard. You saw it there. Newgarden and Power, Palou, McLaughlin down now to row 5. You see Alex Rossi, Scott Dixon. Another McLaren there, Pato Award inside of row 6. It is just such a competitive field. You look at some big hitters all the way down to that top 20.
Yeah, a lot of mixed up results there. Theo Porcher was very disappointed. He thought he should have been up there. I'm sure every one of these drivers has a story about what could have, should have been.
All right, let's tell you what you need to know for tomorrow. Schedule-wise, menu-wise. Warm-up at 12:15 Eastern. There's a couple of Kiwis having a little chat about an interesting qualifying.